Good evening. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington. This is the Best Lamm Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamm. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
Yay, applause. Dime beer night brings the people, and it's,
One day you're going to have to send them all home. You can't just live there forever.
It's kind of like semi-pro when they're expecting like a giant check for
At
for
any
coming
minute.
right, for hitting that long shot. Anyway, what was his name? Dukes. Anyway,
Dukes, and he fell asleep.
I just watched that the other day, and I was laughing so hard. I haven't seen it in probably a year.
Semi-Pro might be Will Ferrell's worst movie,
and yet
that's saying something because it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I think it's pretty funny. The Father Pat and the announcers, right? There's a lot of good in there, just in general.
Yeah.
That scene where they I was talking to your mom about this. That scene where he passes it in, passes it back. Here, send it in the mixer and pass it back right back. That whole scene, I was sitting there talking about how that looks like English soccer. When we watch Premier League soccer, it reminds me of that. They're just setting things up, pass, back and forth.
But the problem with like just setting things up is that 99% of the time it still doesn't work.
That's true, especially in soccer.
You do all that setup just to then miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Avalanche on the power play yesterday. Like go what it was, I think it was 18 passes in a row, followed by a whiff of a shot and then a clear. And I was like, well, cool. That was fun.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it was. We watch soccer almost every Saturday or Sunday, depending upon if we're home and if it's not if they're still playing, right? So we try and watch Wrexham, and then we watch whatever English Premier League game is on NBC because we get a lot of stuff. But I watch a lot of stupid sports, but soccer. English Premier League soccer is the best soccer. As soon as you watch that and then you watch any other league, it looks like high schoolers playing soccer. It looks bad. There's that big a discrepancy.
It's funny because I don't share that view.
Really?
Like I definitely think the highest people in the EPL are amazing. They're the best in the world. But there are a lot of middle low tier players in that league that look like players from any other league to me.
Yeah.
Like watching some guys do the things they can do is insane. But your, backup midfielder is not much better than anybody else. And the problem is that you just talked about how we just watch them pass it back and forth, in and back out, in and back out, in and back out. They can't fucking do that in the MLS. Like they do that everywhere.
Well, they
else.
do, but they can't control the ball. They can't. If they were to pass in and pass back out to themselves, they're going to screw that up. That's what the difference is. The MLS is going to somehow muck that up. The Premier League will still retain possession when they pass in, pass back, pass in, pass back. They do these little probing passes. MLS can't. Those guys can't do that because they'll lose possession. The minute it goes in, a defender's on them and they screw it up. I watched a lot of MLS soccer. It is noticeably different the way that they can control the ball. The Premier League guys have control over the ball even when a man is on them. In MLS, that ball's up for grabs a lot because they just can't quite get that first touch to retain possession. That touch is not quite right, so the ball moves just a little to the side, and then a defender's got his foot on it. And that's the difference. That's what I see. But
so here's another question.
Yeah,
I wonder if this has any. I'm looking up the information. So no, I guess there's not that many teams that use turf in the MLS. I would say how all
really.
of the EPL teams are on grass.
On grass,
I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But there are MLS. But I was wondering, well, turf is faster.
You.
So I wonder if that has any sort of impact.
Seattle does.
On control.
Portland does. There's a few. that do
It looks
Vancouver
like
to
Atlanta, Seattle, Portland, New England, Minnesota, and inner Miami. Oh, wait, inner Miami. Wait, they don't play on that. Interesting. Yeah, because I know that what's it called? Messi
yeah
obviously plays for Miami,
yeah
and he's coming to Denver. He's been in the MLS for 3 years, I think,
yeah, it might be
and
right.
he's about to play for the first time in Denver.
Ah
And the reason being is because they're playing at Mile High.
ah,
Because he has in his contract that he
they got
will
to play
not
on
play on
grass.
turf.
Yeah, that's right.
So he skips every trip to Seattle, every trip to Denver, every trip to Portland. He skips them all. Like he does not play at those places.
Weird. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's weird.
it's kind of strange. It's funny because the AI overview just straight was like, oh, typically around 5 to 7 teams use turf, and it lists them, and I'm like, well, it listed Miami. I'm like, well, I know Miami doesn't, but then it didn't list Denver, and I'm like, and I know Denver does. So what are we doing here?
Right.
So
Hey,
yeah, okay,
let's yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, that was just me talking about it. But Semi Pro is a good movie. Anyway, you should watch it.
good
If
movie.
anybody haven't watched it, you should watch it. Hey,
I don't
look,
think I don't think it's necessary to plug a 15-year-old Will Ferrell movie.
I don't know. I mean,
I think everyone's seen it.
but I want to say that's true, but then I've been around people and I go like I've been around people, some friends who when I say, "Hey, have you seen?" and they're like, "No, I haven't seen that." I'm like, "Really? What is wrong with you?" Um, I mean, not every movie's for everybody. I get it, but and some people are of the belief that if you've seen one Will Ferrell movie, you've seen them all. They are significantly different, but the comedy's kind of the same. Um, I
Yeah,
mean, the difference between Anchorman and Semi Pro is large. It is a big. It takes on a lot of different topics, but
well, no, he has one character at least across those movies, and that's confident buffoon.
it is sexist male.
That is
Yeah,
that is Ron Burgundy.
confident.
That is
Yeah,
Ricky Bobby. That
Ricky.
is yeah. That is all of those characters.
Right. I have many leather bound books. Yeah, I get it.
Actually, his most out of the box character, like Elf, that's confident buffoon. Step Brothers, confident buffoon. Like he in all of these movies, he plays the same kind of guy.
Yeah,
His biggest old school, Frank the Tank,
Frank the
confident
Tank.
buffoon.
Yeah,
His most out of character person is other guys, because he's
he's
like
not.
he's a little insecure, like
Yeah,
number cruncher,
right.
but he still is like him yelling about tunas constructing a breathing apparatus is confident buffoonery.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, yeah, I think we can safely say
Blades of Glory, Night at the
Blades.
Roxbury, all confident buffoons.
Um,
The Campaign. I'm looking through his thing
I
right now.
think,
I'm just blown away by
but
it.
I think not so much in oh crap, what did you just say? Not Blades of Glory. What was the other one you said?
I said Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury. I don't think he's necessarily confident. I think
He's the not confident one of the two.
correct.
Right? But he still tries.
Right. He's more of a go along with it kind of a dude in that movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good. Those are all good though. I mean, you can pretty much
Classics.
name a line, right, that you remember well that is funny from every one of those movies. There's something that goes that catches that
Yes.
stays with you. That's in my opinion, that's a good movie. It doesn't matter what it is, but there's something where you go, that's really funny, and you use it like on a daily basis or whatever, right? Like I'll always pretend like I'm opening a day planner and go, I'm free, to your
Free.
mom when she
Unwrapping it.
yeah, I'm free.
All right.
Anyway.
So last bit of the side tangent.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Will Ferrell cameo? Like not a movie he's starring in. Like examples would be like Starsky and Hutch, where he played the guy in prison.
Yeah,
Or
that was okay.
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding
where he
Crashers was
played-
really good because
Wedding Crashers. Jay and Silent Bob were the park ranger.
yeah,
Jay
I
and
think
Silent Bob Strike Back. That's one of my favorites.
I liked Wedding Crashers just because he's trying to get his mom to.
The meatloaf.
He's trying to get his
We
mom to
want
make
it
him some
now.
food, right? And I'm like, oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I
I
don't
always
know.
just I like that he says, I never know what she's doing back there.
He's the Godfather, right? Anyway. All right. yeah, let's let's move along.
Yeah.
So we got lots of things to
Yeah.
talk about. One of them is, by the way, the Colorado Mammoth win 11-6 over the Halifax Thunderbirds on Saturday, in what was a very physical lacrosse game
Yeah.
in the National Lacrosse League. The Halifax
It
Thunderbirds
was shovey.
were no joke. There was no score at the end of the first quarter, which blew me away. I was like, "What? No one is. What is going on here?" But then Colorado starts to run away with it, and yeah, it was an interesting game. Will Malcolm with 3 goals, right, and 6 assists. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 9 points, dude. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, but they do hockey assists. Like
Oh, I know.
I don't want to like demean Will's assists, but like if you have 6 assists in or if you have 10 assists in the NBA,
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Getting 6 assists in a game in the NLL is like
I,
like you're an offensive player. You're one of 5 guys who's on during the offensive plays. You probably there's literally
I
what would it be
yeah.
a 60% chance that you get an assist.
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's funny to watch on the National Lacrosse League, NLL.com if you're looking. If you go to their game summaries, right? They have the game leaders out here, right? Goals, leaders, assists, points, penalty minutes is on there. By the way, Dawson Theed of Halifax was the leader in penalty minutes with 5. Yeah, all at once, because
Yeah.
you got a 5-minute major. But they they have shots on goal, loose balls. Are like loose balls picked up?
It's a big one they track. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's like
No,
a
no, they're
a
talking
hustle
about loose
stat.
balls that you corral. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Turnovers caused, which I get, but then they put goals allowed, and I'm like, okay, but wouldn't saves be? And they do have saves on here, but goals allowed. I know how many goals they were allowed because it's up there, by the way, on the final score. Well, I mean, if you switch goalies, then I suppose
Yeah.
you got to split it out. But
There you
it's
go.
an interesting, it's an interesting summary, and then they have the goal scoring summary, right? And yeah, it was a 6-1 lead at one point, and if Q, Hannah, and Malcolm, holy moly, that's all you really need, right? Those 3 guys were on
If
fire.
we still had Ryan Lee
Oh
to
yeah,
go with those 3 guys, because we never got all of them at once. We had Lee and Q and Malcolm in one game, and that was the first game where we went kind of crazy, and QE or Will Malcolm had a sock trick in that game, 6
mm-hmm.
goals. But then QE got hurt in that game, or Q got hurt the next game. So then he was out before Jack Hanna ever got here.
Right.
And so that we've never had all, and then Lee got hurt before Q came back. So we've never had all 4 at once, which would be, we would be an offensive juggernaut
A
if we had
juggernaut.
all 4 of those guys on the field at the same team. But speaking of Dawson Theed, though, he got traded this week. Guess who too?
Who too?
Oshawa. And guess who we
Oshawa.
play this weekend?
Oshawa. So you got another chance.
We get to play Dawson Theed 2
back-to-back
weeks in a row.
weeks. That's crazy, right? Well,
yeah, we saw the trade come through and we were like, God damn it, this
Oshawa,
guy.
Oshawa may be in need of some muscle. They've given up 75 goals.
That's not great.
So far this year. They're number 3 technically. I mean, Ottawa's given up 82 and Las Vegas 78. They're third. Oh no, that's not true. Calgary 81. They're 4th. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a lot of goals. By contrast, Colorado has given up 51.
Our goaltending has been
pretty darn good.
top tier.
Yeah, there's only
Yeah.
a couple teams ahead of you in terms of goals allowed. But yeah, no, second place now at 4-2, tied with Rochester. Goal differential of just 5, only 56 goals for. So the offense has been a little lackluster. I don't want to say bad, but it's a little bit trailing most of the league. I mean, you're probably in
The hard part
10th
about
place.
that is that we had that game where we scored 3.
Yeah, that was what,
Like
Georgia?
yeah, it was Georgia in week 3. That crushes
Yeah.
your numbers. And then we
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's just a tough spot to be in when you have a game like that. But
But
we're
right.
still we're tied for second in the league.
Game and a half behind Saskatchewan, so you're right in there.
Yeah, they look really good.
In playoff position. This Saturday, the 24th, Oshawa at Colorado. That is a 6 p.m. Pacific time. What do they call it? Face off? Tip off?
Face off, yeah.
Face off? Okay.
Ball drop.
Ball
I don't know.
drop?
It's just like a New Year's thing. I don't know what they call it.
I'm not sure.
It's
But yeah.
the ball's already on the ground, so it's
That's
not
true.
dropped. but
that is true.
I think they would just call it a face off, but I think it just game start. I
Games,
don't
yeah,
know.
games. The game time is at 6 p.m. Pacific. So if you're watching,
Nice.
yeah. So there you go. Let's talk about college football. National championship game this past Monday, Miami and Indiana. I was fairly surprised that Miami got there, although they did have a fairly easy path. Um,
They got some teams that were kind of like overachieving at the
yeah,
right times,
yeah,
and they ended up in a good spot.
and they played a good game. They honestly played a good game in the championship game. Kept Indiana from blowing them out in the first half, even though they couldn't do anything offensively. Um, and stuck around. You know what I mean? They were in the game into the fourth quarter. So that's all you can ask for, right? Is a chance to win. So
Yeah.
again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say a couple of statements here. Um, Mark Fletcher Jr. ran for 112 yards on 17 carries for Miami, which is good. It's very good.
Pretty good.
But they just didn't run enough. They only ran 21 times all game. And I feel like Miami should have run the ball more. Body blows, super important because I don't think Carson Beck wins you football games on his own. He cannot do it by himself. He 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 makes some bad decisions. If you pressure him, he makes some bad throws. The last possession for Miami where he threw the interception, right? I don't know if the receiver ran the wrong route, but if he didn't, then that ball was underthrown by 10 yards, maybe 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been
Yeah.
towards the goal line, and it was well short of that. Got intercepted. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he'll get drafted in the NFL. He does win football games. I think he'll be a 4th or 5th round pick, and I don't think he's going to be the guy. I just don't think he's going to be an NFL quarterback unless somebody can do something with him. I think he has some confidence issues. I think because of the injury that he had, he's a little gun shy too. That's why he gets rid of the ball and makes some bad decisions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But that's
No,
statement number one.
I don't think you are.
Okay, I think Fletcher should have run the ball more. I think they should have done more. Malachi Tony did have 10 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown. That guy's really good. I think there needed to be more ways to get.
He seems really good. I'm
He's
curious to
quick.
see what he's like if he changes quarterbacks
Right.
or something, or because they're losing their offensive coordinator at the end of the season. I'm curious to see. I like when guys are talented despite changing teams or coordinators or other pieces or quarterback, because it shows you that it transcends.
Right.
Like Justin Jefferson has transcended like 3 quarterbacks. It
Right.
doesn't matter who it is, he's good. I'm always curious with college guys about that. And it's because Malachi Tony takes a lot of passes like 1 yard downfield
It's
or
true.
3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He gets a lot of those kinds of passes, which makes him like a Marvin Mimsy type character who isn't a deep threat necessarily, but he's a threat to take it long
It's
after
true.
he gets it because he's shifty.
He is
So,
shifty is a good word. That's a good
he is
description.
shifty I don't think he's the fastest person, and I don't think he's the strongest person, but he can make you make a mistake. And he did this one, like, he juked a guy who was like 6 yards away. Like the guy was coming to him, and he
Yeah.
just kind of like sold in, and the guy was like, "Oh, you must be going in," and just went that way, and he went right back out.
I
was like, "Wow, that was pretty good."
Couple other statements here that I want to make. The defensive line for Miami is really, really good. That is a really good. Those rushers, pass rushing, let's say, Mesidor and Bain are really, really, really good. I mean, you can say what you want. Miami or Indiana's been really good at protecting Mendoza all year, but these guys were in the backfield all night. There was no stopping those guys. They didn't necessarily have, Mesidor had 2 sacks, so there wasn't exactly a ton of sacks, but there was a lot of pressure all night long, which kept him in the game, honestly. Because if you give Fernando
they're
Mendoza,
going to lose both those guys next year.
it's true. It's true. But if you give Fernando Mendoza all kinds of time to throw, he's going to pick you apart. And they didn't. They didn't do that, which was good on them. I think that just from watching this, the blocked punt by Kamara, right? That was a game changer. That resulted in a touchdown, a recovery by Isaiah Jones in the end zone. Because Indiana at that point was struggling early third quarter, right? And yeah, that was a big change of possession, score. Charlie Becker his couple of catches, he had a huge catch on the sideline where I thought his butt was going to be out. Had his butt been any
Yeah.
bigger, it would have hit the line. But that was an amazing catch on the sideline. He made another one later in the game to keep them alive on downs where they needed to have a first down. Um, he didn't score a touchdown, but he was instrumental in keeping drives alive. Um, he's not even their best. One of their Surratt and Cooper, and they had a lot of receivers, right? And so, but he looked really good in that football game. Anyway, and then I like Kalen Black the way he runs. He only had 79 yards, but it's powerful. He ran hard. You know what I mean? Those were hard yards he got. He ran hard up the middle, powered through people. That's looks like an NFL type running back. I don't know if he will be, but there's that. So anyway, I thought Indiana was the better team. They played just enough. They made just enough plays to win the football game. And I will say this early, and I got a picture of it here where Mendoza gets slammed up under the chin. That was in the first quarter, I think.
It was really early when it was like their first big drive down. Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like their first
their
big
touchdown,
drive down the field.
their
So
field goal drive.
I think it was their second drive of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a field goal drive. They went 12 plays down the field, got a field goal. He was hit hard. It was targeting. I mean, there's no doubt it's targeting. How does
not even kind of
not even
like
yeah
1,000%. There's not a soul out there who can argue that was not targeting.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can sit here and tell me you're about player safety and you can't have someone buzz down.
Well, and yeah, there's two
from
parts
up above and say, hey, we got targeting on that call.
There's two parts to that, right? There's the first part is the referees didn't call it on the field. How is there not someone watching the quarterback all the time? Don't tell me that's not true.
Right.
Yeah, there's someone watching the quarterback all the time. Even after he's handed the ball off, there's someone watching the quarterback. Secondly, yeah, you can't buzz down and say, oh, hey, that should have been targeting. Well, maybe in college football they can't. Yeah. In the NFL they can, but maybe they can't. I don't know. But
that's what I mean is
we should have.
College football has been resistant to change things for so long. It allows problems to catch up to them sometimes, and sometimes those problems like this one are magnified on the biggest stage you can imagine. 30 million viewers watched targeting and watched your incompetency.
And listened to
like that's what happened.
Listen to your rules, your rules expert tell you, that should have been called.
Yeah, that should have been called. I'm not sure why it wasn't. Yeah, that definitely looks like that. Wow, you got right up in there with the crown. Like everyone in the world watched you be an idiot.
Yeah.
That's not good. You got to be able to be better than that. And, and an easy way to do it is people miss calls, buzz down from the tower.
Yep.
Hey, hold on, stop this play.
Yep.
Pretty sure we're going to review it for targeting.
Yep. That should have been a thing.
New York is buzzing it down for targeting.
Because that field goal becomes a touchdown probably. You know what I mean? You get 15 yards or half the distance.
1 yard line, I think.
Yeah, I mean that would have been huge. If Fernando Mendoza needed, and I'm not sure he had one, if he needed a Heisman moment, he got it in this game. He already won the Heisman. I get it.
Boy, but it might be the greatest Heisman moment I've seen since Marcus Mariota hurdling that guy.
Exactly. This was one of the best runs by a quarterback when they needed someone on fourth down. When they needed someone to do something, right? That was huge, right? Breaking tackles, diving.
Was it 4th and 7?
Yeah, it was
4th and 4. It was 4th and 4.
Yeah, he was.
I'm looking at it right here. 4th and 4. Jeez.
Yeah, and it was a gigantic touchdown run. I mean, it put him up by 10, right? Made it 2 scores. That was just huge. That was one of the best runs I've ever seen in a pressure moment by a quarterback in college, right? Who doesn't normally run the football. He's a pretty good runner. I mean, he's not great, but he's pretty good. But that was amazing. Anyway, that was a great play. He didn't need a Heisman moment. He already had the Heisman, but that was a Heisman moment. And then less than 24 hours later, his brother's transferring to, I don't know, he's in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
But I think I think the writing's on, I don't know that Alberto is as good as Fernando, but, and of course they also got a commitment from Josh Hoover, who was the TCU quarterback last year. And this is what Indiana does, by the way. This team is one of the oldest teams in college football. And they get transfer people. That's pretty much all they have on their football team is transfer people. They're not going to go out recruiting They're going to go grab people off the transfer to reload. That's all they're going to do. So, not that everybody does. I mean, everybody kind of does that to a certain extent, but
Everyone's doing that, yeah.
you also do get people from high school. That does happen. But Indiana's not doing that. So, yeah, that was interesting to see.
I mean, yeah, they're sitting on the number, what was it, like 20 something, 30 something recruiting class right now.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at their transfers. But even looking at their transfers, you still like, okay, this guy transferred from Wisconsin. This guy transferred from Montana State, Temple. There's a Miami transfer. A tight end is transferring from Miami to Indiana. Like, but you don't see like a lot of major names flying that way.
It's true.
But it didn't matter this year. I will say I think the biggest thing that mattered this year was that you had a group of guys whose average age was damn near 24 years old.
24 years old, yeah.
Like, you had a group of adults. They've been voting for 6 years. Like they've been drinking for 3.
I never thought of it that way.
These are grown men. They're not.
Men.
These aren't college kids really. But Miami's average age was like 20.5 or something like that, which is more kind of what you think of a senior team.
Yeah.
But like these guys, it was a 20, I think it was 23 and a half is their average age. But
that's funny.
23 and a half, man. Like that's an old team. That
is.
means that if you started college at 18, you've been there for 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Like most of these guys that were in there for 6. This is the last of the COVID guys.
It's true. Well, they're almost done. COVID guys are almost out. This
2026 will be the last group of it because it was only sophomores, juniors, and seniors who were playing during 2020 that got the extra year. So freshmen didn't. Freshmen in 2020 did not.
Right.
So 2026 would be the end of a freshman from 2020. If they did a gray shirt and a red shirt. So 2027, there will be no more COVID years left.
Yeah.
Unless you apply for a waiver.
Yeah.
That's not a COVID year.
I just, it was interesting. This game reminded me of an NFL game in that the way that the NFL games have gone this year, the first 7 possessions of this game were 6 punts and a field goal. Right. Yep. And it was nothing. And there was a touchdown and a missed field goal and a half. Okay. And then the last 6 possessions or 7 possessions were 5 touchdowns and a field goal and an interception. It was that kind of game. The NFL has had a lot of those recently where ain't nothing happening at halftime and you're tempted to turn the channel. And then all of a sudden the end of the third quarter comes around and people's like score. So I don't know if teams just get tired, if this just defense is getting tired late in games, but I mean, you're getting paid a lot of money to play 40 or 60 minutes. I think, I don't understand why it all of a sudden gets good at the end of a football game. Why I can all of a sudden score a touchdown, no problem, when I couldn't all game. It's weird, right?
It seems strange.
It does seem strange. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. It reminded me of an NFL game, but it was a good football game to watch at least, right? Because that's all we want in life.
Yeah.
If this had been a blowout, we would have been like, you did turned it at halftime. So, anyway.
It was a really good football game to watch. And I'm so happy Miami didn't win anything. And I'm even happier that their fans were throwing fits afterward.
There's no reason to throw a fit. They were
just upset.
They were beaten.
Dude, how weird is Mendoza? Did you see his interview post game?
He
kept looking at the camera.
Every interview I've ever seen with him has been that way. He's an interesting dude. I mean,
he's a weird guy.
He's got some quirk. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey.
I don't know. It was okay though. I mean, he seems like a very nice kid. He's got a lot of talent. I'm not sure how great he's going to be in the NFL. We'll find out, won't we? Because they're talking about number 1 pick. He doesn't remind me of number 1 picks past. You know what I mean?
He definitely isn't any of the attitude of number 1 picks past.
No, but I mean, like, let's take last year's, Cam Ward, right? He definitely can't run like Cam Ward. He definitely doesn't have the ability to extend plays like Cam Ward. He is a pocket passer. That's what he does. But he hasn't had to rely on. Very few of these games have they won because Fernando Mendoza was brilliant. Right? Their defense is good. Their running game was good. He passes the ball when he needs to. That's kind of what you get. It'd be interesting to see. They're giving him all this credit and making him the number 1 overall draft pick. I'm not sure he's that guy. We'll find out. So, I mean, I watched him throw a shit ton of absolutely
accurate
He's
dime
accurate.
passes
Yeah.
in these games. And that's what makes you a number one pick, right? It isn't just about wins
Well,
and losses. I've watched Cam Ward, or not Cam Ward. Who were we thinking of? I've watched number one picks go really high who had 2-3 losses in their season. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter if the stats will out. Like, I think is kind of
I
the logic behind it. And Fernando Mendoza's, he's on. I mean, he only. Well, I'm looking at his stats here. He had 1, 2, 3 games in the regular season under 200 passing yards.
yeah.
Like, Dante Moore had like 6. Like,
Yeah.
you can argue it's because the running game was doing well, but like, Indiana's running game was doing well, and he was still doing it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
it's just, he seems pretty electric, and he averages 20 something yards a game carrying. He averages not about a touchdown a game, a little less than a touchdown a game carrying. He's not a bad runner. I get the hype, because not only do you have a guy who threw for 3,500 passing yards and 41 touchdowns and had a 72% completion rating, only 6 picks. Not only do you have that guy, he has no attitude.
Yeah.
He's got no personality. He's fucking vanilla ice cream. That's wonderful, because everyone loves vanilla ice cream. Like, you want to draft vanilla ice cream that can throw for 41 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's the jackpot.
Okay. I mean,
He's an attractive draft pick.
Okay. I'm and yes, he did throw for 41 touchdowns. You're right, and that is a big deal. I'm just gonna say this: he threw for 14 of those 41 in 3 games. That's Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and Illinois, who they clobbered.
Yeah.
That's true, but that's a gigantic chunk of your season against those 3.
And then another 5 against Oregon.
Well, that's a different thing. Well, he didn't throw 5 touchdowns. He threw for
5 touchdowns against.
in the championship game.
77 yards.
I wasn't counting. I'm not counting the playoffs.
The quarter. Yeah. I will. I think that when you look it up on ESPN, you pull up the game log. I think it counts all the championship stuff too. So 41 would be including.
Oh, could be
the champion, including the playoff run. So
that could be true. Yeah. So
I don't know. He's good. I get it. And in terms of like his comps, like Joe Burrow was a pocket passer who couldn't run very well.
I think it's
number one draft pick.
I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's a very good passer. I think he's very accurate. We'll see. I mean, I
agree.
My jury's out necessarily on an NFL level. We'll see. In college, yes, very good, but also helped by a tremendous defense with a pretty good run game, and I think we'll see. We'll know more. Yeah. You know, if I get extra opportunities, any of these teams that are like that have great defenses, they give you extra opportunities on offense, so you have more chance to shine. That is a kind of a thing.
It's 1,000% true, but you still have to
perform. You have to perform,
even with your more chances. Because even if you get 5 extra possessions a game and you don't throw any more touchdowns, your stats are going to look similar to somebody else who didn't get those 5 possessions. It pays off when you get the chances, but I don't know. I mean, but yeah, Joe Burrow was a pocket passer in 2020.
Yeah,
he can barely run. Jared Goff, 2016, he could barely run. Jameis Winston, 2015, pocket passer, could barely run. Not that that's the comp that you want. Andrew Luck, 2012, pocket passing quarterback who didn't run. Actually, Andrew Luck, now I'm thinking about it, he ran a lot, but I think he was running a lot for his life at Stanford.
Yeah.
So I think it's not exactly the same. But every one of those guys was helped out by fantastic players. Not Baker Mayfield. What's it called? Joe Burrow had 3 first-round wide receivers on his team.
Yeah, well, that also helps.
Trevor. That also helps, yeah. So we'll see if he gets drafted and nobody else from his offense gets drafted. You kind of know that it was probably him. But if he gets drafted and his running back and 2 receivers and the tight end and 5 linemen, then you know that it's kind of a group effort. And it's always a group effort.
Yeah.
But I was more out on Cam Ward and Caleb Williams and Bryce Young than I am on Mendoza in terms of being drafted. Although Caleb Williams has proven me wrong.
So he has been pretty good. Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple of them that, you know what I mean? I thought Daniel Jones, right, is one of those guys that when he, you're like, okay. And then all of a sudden he finds the right situation and the right opportunity and he's looked really good. You know what I mean? So there's times it happens where you go, okay, this guy's nothing, right? And then all of a sudden they find the right fit and you realize why they were drafted where they were drafted. Some of them. There's some guys you don't.
I think it goes to show that you put the right person on the right team,
Yeah.
and anybody can be successful. And that sounds more like Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold was
Yeah.
not good for a long time, and then he went to a Minnesota team that had a top 5 defense and a top 5 offensive line, and Justin Jefferson, and
Mm-hmm.
he looks amazing.
It's
And then
true.
he goes from there to a Seattle team that has a top 3
I,
defense.
and I
And hey,
agree.
there's your extra possessions, right? And he's got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who might be the MVP this year.
Oh, he can't be.
And guess what? He still looks incredible.
And yeah,
So
well, yeah, and the fact that he did it with two different teams makes it more impressive, right?
it does make it more impressive.
Even
Yeah.
though they are both good, right? Good football teams with last
He's
year's
never
Minnesota team.
the last 2 teams have been good before he got there.
That's
Like
true.
they were good teams when he got there.
Right. But he was forced to
So
play in Minnesota. It wasn't like they went and got him to be the guy. He just was thrust in, right? And
right.
became very, very good, very, very fast. Yes, Justin Jefferson's very helpful. The defense is good. The fact that defense is good, like I say, will win out a lot because it gives you a luxury of not having to be throwing the football all the time because your team's ahead, right? The defense isn't letting any
Yes,
scores
agreed.
up. So all you need is one touchdown. All of a sudden you're ahead and you can rely on the defense. It gives you a bigger playbook on third downs and fourth down, right? You can go for it and get more first downs because if you turn it over, no big deal. My defense will stop them, right? So that helps offenses a lot in terms of those things.
I a
I'm
thousand
not
percent
arguing
agree
with you.
in terms of winning a title. I 1,000% agree, but it's not all the time that you see guys have 40 touchdowns in college.
True.
Period.
True.
Like
That's
good
true.
teams or bad teams, right? There are air raid teams. There are Mike Leach teams
They
that
didn't
threw
have
for
40. Yeah.
5,000 yards this season that didn't have 40 touchdowns.
It's true.
And you think they're getting extra possessions? No, because they're going 3 and out off of 3 freaking 40-yard passes that are incompleted.
Yeah.
Like they didn't get extra possessions. So I don't know. But also in terms of Sam Darnold, he went to Minnesota to be a backup.
Yeah.
But he never had to be a backup because Cousins left
He never.
before the season started. So it's not, yes, he wasn't brought there to do that,
Well,
but he did a whole preseason and offseason as the guy because Kirk Cousins left.
it was McCarthy's
So
team. We're gonna be.
not well, McCarthy was hurt before that. Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, McCarthy was technically, you can argue McCarthy was brought in. McCarthy was hurt when they drafted him. They knew that.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
knew he wasn't going to play. So it was Sam Darnold's year to work with it. So
All right, and I'm
I know,
not
but
saying.
I mean, like Sam Darnold wasn't like he wasn't put in mid-season and had to figure it out and like just crazy.
And in this championship game, we got a field goal doink. I've seen more field goal doinks this year than I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's crazy, but I have watched more things bounce off goalposts, and it's been amazing. That field goal miss was huge, by the way. It would have been into the fourth quarter a tie game had they made the field goal. Missing field goals is gigantic. In this game in particular, it changes the way you call plays again because a tie versus being down 3 changes the way you do things. So I thought that was kind of a big play in the game, doinking a field goal. But I really like doinks because you never know what's going to happen. If it's going to doink and go through, it's going to doink and come back. So anyway, still there? See, and I think I lost him. I don't know what's happening to our show, but Parker might not be here. So anyway, we're going to keep on rolling. I don't hear him, but we're going to talk about the NFL here in just a minute. Let me see if we can get him back real quick. Really don't understand why we have such an issue with things. My call's dropped. Good. So give me just a minute. Parker's going to come back. I guarantee he's going to call here in about 3 seconds. And then we're going to have him back. We'll talk about the NFL. So give me just a minute. And we'll have him back. I hope. I hope so. No, it tried to. It tried to come through, but it didn't come through. Call things are not working the way we want them to right now, folks. Give me just a second here. We're still working on getting Parker back on. There it is. There it is.
There we go.
There it is. We knew we'd get
It
it
kept
back.
telling me you were unavailable when I was trying to call you back. So we picked a good day to record after Teams had a like 8-hour outage earlier today.
Well, it's working sorta. So, anyway,
There
let's
we go.
move on
Good
to
enough.
NFL football. We got some divisional round to talk about. Why do they still call it the divisional round? Why can't we just call it the semifinals, the conference semifinals, or whatever? I mean, yeah, it used to be where it was all the divisional champions, right, that were playing in this round, but it's not that way anymore.
Because
Um,
of wild cards, yeah.
because of the
So
wild
I
card.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's talk first. Broncos Bills
Woo!
was a great football game to watch. Broncos came out. I thought, it was kind of a little back and forth early, but the Broncos made some huge plays when they needed to. I want to say this: Brandon Cooks, who we're seeing in this particular photo, Brandon Cooks was a gigantic pickup for the Bills. Maybe responsible for the reason why they were playing the Broncos. Made some gigantic catches. I honestly thought he was retired.
That sounds right.
I
That sounds right. Well,
he's been playing for
yeah.
a long time, but that guy is fast, and he made some gigantic plays in this game. Ball up for grabs, and he goes and gets it. Except as they're coming to the ground, it gets wrestled away. Here's my question: I understand what they ruled, interception, but but he's down, right? There's a guy on top of him.
Well, so I think the first thing to note is that Brandon Cooks is concussed on this play.
Yeah, for sure.
It is 1000% to know.
Yeah,
Reason being is because let's say you take the defender out of this, but you keep the offensive player's motions the same. He catches and lands on his back like that.
yeah,
That ball is popping out, and because he lost it because he got concussed,
yeah.
it wouldn't have been ruled a catch then. The fact that the defender's on him doesn't make it more of a catch. He still has to hold on to it.
Right.
But if they
Yeah.
would have ruled it a catch, I'd have been like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I
Like
think it would have stayed
I
a
would have
catch.
understood it either way.
Yeah.
But as I watched it and as the rules guys explained it to it, I was like, I kind of get that. Like, and I heard that abstract where somebody was like, hey, take the defender out of it. If Brandon Cooks hits the ground like this and the ball comes and on his back and the ball comes clean out, it's an incomplete. The difference here is that the defender was on top of him and it came out right into the defender's hands. Like
Yeah.
you have to roll, like kind of roll over with it. Like if they're both still holding it on the ground, that's a catch. But because he just clean lost it right away because he got concussed, that's why
Yeah.
it's not, I guess.
Uh,
So it's a hard one to look at, and you can make the argument either way, which is why they made a call that seems so controversial, is because it's hard to nail down. So, but
yeah.
according to something I watched the other day, they knew it wasn't a catch. Like immediately, they didn't challenge the play or anything. Immediately, their sideline sent the
And,
defense on.
and
Like they knew right away.
give credit to Jaquan McMillan for the interception. He's right there. I mean, he's there. And at worst case, dual possession, right? At the time, when they
At
come
which
down.
point that's a catch,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. I could see where you'd be upset in that, got a guy on the ground with his body down and a defender on top of him. Isn't he down? But also, if he doesn't have complete control, then that's another thing. And that was a
Yeah.
gigantic moment, right, in the game. Just because it was. I mean, this is Buffalo going down the field, and you think for sure this is, in overtime. This is going to be, this is it. They're driving, and that huge play. Cooks has got the ball, and then he doesn't have the ball. The turnover was big because all they needed was a field goal. If Cooks comes down with that ball without being concussed, they're in field goal range, right?
They're in field goal range. Yep.
They're in field goal range. They're gonna score, and it's game over. Um, but anyway, long story short, a um, field goal in overtime by Will Lutz, 23 yards, was enough, right, to win the football game. And yeah, they once Denver got it back, 6 plays, 75 yards down the field, right? Marvin
Yeah.
Mims with a catch, R.J. Harvey, right, with a catch. There was a lot of things. There was a penalty or two we have to DPI is there, right? 17 yards.
Tre'Davious White committed a
Yeah,
DPI that
there
was
was
pretty overt.
there were two DPIs and then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on this drive that helped seal the game for Denver.
The problem is that if you don't call this, and this is the issue, you have to call every DPI, because as soon as you don't call one,
Yeah,
somebody has an argument. Why did you call the next one?
right.
You didn't call that one. You called this one. Call it every fucking time, and the players will adjust. The players will figure it out. They'll stop grabbing. They'll be more careful. It'll be what it is. Yeah, it's going to be a tough couple of September and October while they figure it out, but do it. Come out headstrong and start calling them all, because everyone and their mom was like, how is this called the DPI? On the last play, they didn't call one for the
Right.
same exact kind of thing, or a couple plays earlier. They didn't call one. Tre'Davious White on Mims. It didn't call it then, but they called it this time. Why? It's like, because they should have called it then too. We should have been down the field earlier.
Yeah.
It's aggravating.
I haven't seen if there's an update on Marvin Mims, if he was hurt on that touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. I don't know how hurt he is still. I haven't looked at an injury update, but I do know this. I watched the whole game, and then I watched Bo Nix talking post game interview, right? And I had no idea that he broke a bone. That
Nobody did.
Nobody did. He didn't look like anything was wrong. And then all of a sudden they tell us, oh, it's season ending. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. When did that happen? But you could see it. They showed some moments of him on the sideline wincing in pain, and I was like, really? What the hell? But we didn't. I didn't see it. I didn't see it happening. I didn't realize it was a thing. This could be a gigantic. It's going to be a gigantic blow. I don't know what they can do with Jarrett Stidham, but if you had to pick a time and a coach that could do something with a quarterback for one game, could set up a system, I think Sean Payton's your guy. He's a quarterback guy. So maybe they're obviously going to rely on the run a lot more, right? So
Maybe.
New England's going to be, it's going to be like 12 degrees in Denver, right, on Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's 20 for a
Friday
high
and
or something.
Saturday, and then it jumps up a little bit. Like, I know that on Saturday our low is like 6 or something like that.
Sunday's low is supposed to be 7 or 8. So
it's looking
probably
like
going to be
23 on Sunday.
It could be 15 or more. I don't know what time the game starts, but it's going to be cold. It isn't the same kind of cold in Denver, and it isn't going to be snowing, so that's good, right? It isn't the same kind of cold that you, right? I don't think it's supposed to snow.
There's a small chance of snow. It's
small
not
chance.
supposed to be like piss pouring snow like New England, Buffalo, that sort of thing, but there's a chance of snow. And around here, I have seen a 2% chance mean 4 inches of snow.
Sure, and I get it.
So it's hard to say. We have a massive cold front coming in. It is too hard to tell if it's going to actually dump snow.
Oh, for sure. We're still,
Yeah.
you got that 15-minute weather guarantee, right?
But we've got field heaters, so I think.
Well, that's true. That will help.
Snow, it won't. It's not gonna snow hard enough for it to matter like that.
I'm more worried about snow. Usually brings about, if it's snowing and it's that cold, it usually brings wind. Wind and snow on a cold day makes it extremely hard to throw the football. It just does. It's much harder to catch a football when it's cold and windy. So there's that. If it's a nice day and the snow is lightly falling and it's a beautiful snowy kind of a day, those are not that bad. But when it's 12 degrees and that football is hard as a rock, it becomes extremely hard to catch, especially if you throw it hard.
It's looking like a southeast 7-mile-an-hour wind, which is the same as Saturday and Friday 6. So it's not a very heavy wind.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's a nice day. Just in terms of, I don't know what that does. Jarrett Stidham is an accomplished backup quarterback, although he's only started how many games in his career? Like
handful.
Yeah, 5 or 6. So
Sean Payton has come out and said that he's going to be slinging it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what Sean Payton has said. So I mean, Sean doesn't tell the truth all the time. Like, why would you just tell everyone your game plan?
Yeah, right.
But he's like, because he was asked a couple times in these like post practice things. Also, by the way, Mims is not on the injury report, so
that's good.
He's fine. Good. And Troy Franklin is limited, and Pat Bryant is limited, so they could both be back.
I didn't see Troy Franklin in this game at all in this last pass.
No,
game.
He didn't play. He was out.
Yeah, he was out. Okay.
Yeah. Him and Pat Bryant were both out because they both had injuries. Is
Hmm.
it Pat Bryant or Gary Bryant? God dang it, I keep doing
Well,
this. One
there's a
plays for the
Pat
Ducks
Bryant.
and one plays
Yeah,
for the. Yeah, Pat Bryant's our guy. Gary Bryant's the guy who plays for the Ducks.
sure,
But they play very similar. They're like possession slot receivers.
sure. Yeah.
Any hoozles. But yeah,
Anywho.
I think that Stidham is more than capable. The thing I hate that people do when you have to play a backup is you avoid playing too too much to your normal ways.
Right.
But the good news for us is that the way Sean Payton normally plays is pretty it's pretty like screen happy. Lots of running, lots of screens, and then play action off of that sort of stuff.
Right.
That kind of suits right into how you would play a backup normally. So it's not really a problem. Also, Sean Payton has been a very, very, very. I remember we were talking in week 2 or week 3 or 4. Should Bo be replaced by Jarrett Stidham? Like that was a conversation everyone had
Yeah.
because we were 1-2, and we were like, okay, well, Bo's not having a great beginning to the year. Maybe we should. And Stidham had a fantastic preseason.
Yeah.
So it was like everyone was talking about it then. So I mean, everyone's gonna get their chance. But here's the bigger question: if Stidham goes out, wins you an AFC Championship, then goes out and wins you a Super Bowl, and looks good doing it,
Uh-huh.
is there a quarterback controversy next year?
No. I don't think
I
so.
don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think
But
there is.
but should there be?
I
Like
mean,
I
I
love
think
Bo Nix,
I
but I want the best quarterback. Period.
I think this is Jarrett Stidham's opportunity to show how good he is against quality opponents, right? He's going
Yeah.
to get a starting opportunity twice if they win the first one. And he's got an opportunity to go out and show that he can be the guy somewhere else. That's what he's got a
Yeah.
chance to do. Somebody could contact and say, "Hey, we need a backup guy or we need a starting guy." And he proved himself. I don't think Bo Nix has anything to prove at the moment. He is the starting quarterback in Denver when he comes
Well,
back.
yeah, he just led you through
Yeah.
19 wins or whatever
Yeah,
it
I
was.
mean,
So
he's been pretty darn good. So,
yeah,
yeah.
you're not mad. You're not mad about it. Another thing I think that's worth noting: Bo got hurt. It should never have happened. Like there
Yeah.
was the play that the controversial interception. There was holding in the end zone.
Yeah.
Like two guys were holding players in the end zone. Like they missed 2 holding calls in the end zone and then may have screwed up an interception call on the other end of the field. Well, like it's confusing how there was either 3 bad calls or 2 calls and a controversial one all on one play. Like I get you don't want to decide the game, but holding's holding, call it and they'll stop doing it.
Four
Like
things
it's frustrating. Then Bo doesn't have to do it.
4 things to note. That's a lot. It sounds like a lot of things. 4 things to note in this game. 5 turnovers by the Bills. That is the end of that, right? That's the reason you lost the game. I mean, if you don't
Yeah.
turn it over 5 times and one of those
It
becomes
still
a
went
score.
to overtime with 5 turnovers.
Correct. Yeah. So 5 turnovers. I think everybody would say that Buffalo was still the more dangerous football team in this football game. They just couldn't hang on to the football. Secondly, 3 sacks by Denver, who gets about 3 sacks a game, right? So this is about normal. But the sacks were a big deal. Bo Nix sacked 0 times in this game, right? That the pressure on Josh Allen was a big deal, even though he still threw for 283 and 3 touchdowns. It was still a big deal. He didn't look as Josh Allen-ish as he has before. And then I said 4 things, and I've only got 2, right?
Sounds right.
Okay. Anyway, I still think I'm only going to go with 3. Sean McDermott is fired at the end of this football game, right? The next day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
He took him to the playoffs 8 times in 9 years. The problem is they never won more than 1 game in the playoffs, right? They never got themselves to. Well, no, I think that's right. So anyway, they've been to the conference championship a couple times, lost it a couple times, but most of the time it's divisional round and they're out. They've hit that wall. Here's my question. Maybe Buffalo is as good as they're ever going to be, right? I mean, but hear me out.
Maybe.
Marv Levy took them to 4 straight Super Bowls, and they couldn't win any of those. So if that was as good as they get, and this guy could take them to the playoffs every damn year that he's there, and they still can't get anywhere, maybe Buffalo is just not destined to make it any further. They're never going to win a Super Bowl. Maybe that's one of those things. I don't know. If you believe in destiny, maybe that they're just constantly going to be that team that the Cubs. They're going to be the Cubs of football forever until they finally win one somehow. I don't know. Break the curse. I don't know if they got a curse. Anyway, new stadium next year. Maybe that changes everything. I don't know.
It kind of sounds like they do have a curse.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, very, very
that,
much
it's
so.
a very good football team. Just can't quite win that game. So anyway, it'll be interesting to watch the AFC Championship game, but we got more to talk about. So let's go back. So we hang on. I lost my page here. Let me go back to it. Sorry, my voice is trying to leave me. Seahawks 49ers also on last Saturday. That was no game. The Seahawks came out and Rashid Shaheed opens up with a kickoff return for a touchdown, 90 something yards, where the kicker tried to trip him and everything. And you knew it was going to be a bad day for the Niners when your kicker is trying to trip the returner on a kickoff return, on the opening kickoff, and can't get it done. I mean, I don't know why he didn't just throw himself in front of him like everybody else kind of does, knowing that tripping's a penalty. Anyway, Seahawks win 41-6. This game was no contest. It just never was. The Niners were never in it right from the first play. I didn't see anything out of them that would lead me to believe they keep getting more injuries. Christian McCaffrey was injured part way. I mean, not necessarily out, but hurt, right? And there were a lot of they were already missing Kittle. Fred Warner's gone. This is a team that was missing a lot of players, a lot of parts and pieces, and a lot of them that were playing were banged up, and they're still playing for a chance to play for the NFC Championship game. It's a good football team. They're just if you're a Niners fan, this happens every year. They get all injured and banged up. So, your impression of that game, did you see anything that led you to believe the Niners at any point in time were going to be in it?
Well, I couldn't watch this game.
Oh, that's right.
I
You were
was
gone.
I was busy. I was working during this
You
game.
were working
It
on
was
this one. That's
Saturday.
right. That's right.
So yeah, I couldn't watch it, but I watched the highlights.
Yep.
And I watched everything about it, and yeah, I mean, what this reminded me of was when, unfortunately, when the Seahawks played the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
It was a avalanche of crap early that was insurmountable.
Insurmountable. Yeah, there
That's
was just
it.
nothing.
They had 24 points in the first 2 quarters, and you only had 6 because what you were doing was not working,
Yeah.
and what they were doing was. Here's the thing I don't understand though. You're playing this game. You're down 24-6.
I know what you're gonna say.
It is time to throw the book out the window and get creative.
You would
Every
think.
play that you had scribbled on a what is it that he says? Every play that was scribbled on a cocktail napkin or whatever, we want it, right?
Yep.
We want those plays. Brock, you're out. Mac, you're in.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Christian, you're playing quarterback.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I
go
mean,
crazy with it. What's the point? Why not? We're running Wildcat for the next quarter. Let's see
Sure.
what happens.
yeah. I mean, it can't
Like,
be any worse.
What do you have to lose other than going home?
Yeah.
Like that's already going to happen if you continue at the rate you were heading.
Yeah.
So,
and if
yeah.
and if it
did, but yeah, the Seahawks just dominated this game.
And if it wasn't, I hate to say that, but if it wasn't halftime that said, "Hey, let's go do this," halfway through the third, they had a field goal. It's 27-6, and with 2:23 left in the third, Kenneth Walker scores another touchdown. It's 34-6. At that point, even if you hadn't done it at halftime, at that point, that should have been your clue to say, "Let's just do whatever." Right? Anybody got to play? Let's go. Draw one up, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They just didn't. They just kept doing the same thing, and
But
you're going to get what you always got if you do what you always did.
here's another important thing here. The Seahawks had one drive over 50 yards. They had short fields. Field goal on 36 yards. What's it called? Another field goal on 44 yards. A touchdown on 37 yards. And then they had a kick return. They had short fields the entire game, or roughly short. I mean, 40 something yards is nothing to whip at, but you didn't have to work. Like they had one 80-yard drive, touchdown drive in this game, and it was impressive as hell. You know, it was a good drive.
Yep.
A couple defensive holding penalties kept it alive, but it was a good drive that ended in a Kenneth Walker touchdown. So when you have short fields and they can't seem to figure out what the fuck they're doing on offense, it makes your job really easy.
It does. And 3 turnovers.
It didn't feel like Seattle was stuffing them down, it felt like they couldn't figure it out what to do.
Right.
Like that's what the highlights I got from it were like, because I watched like a big like 20-minute highlight session that showed like a bunch of like any negative play, any positive play, that sort of thing, and it was just like, what are the 49ers like? Okay,
Yeah.
I watched the play. It was third and 11,
Yeah.
and they ran a draw,
Yeah.
and you're down 20. What
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Yeah. There
That's
was.
the thing that you do trying to sneak or run in on them when it's a tight game. You're down 20 points. This is airball time, man.
We haven't even talked about Houston yet, but that's another that's another thing that happened in the Houston New England game that I was kind of taken aback, I guess is the right term. So let's talk about that real quick.
What this game was.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's just forget about Seattle. Seattle's going to play at home for the conference championship this coming weekend. But Texans
also
play,
crazy that Also crazy that Seattle plays 49ers, Rams twice.
That division
each over a 6-week span.
That division is so good.
So 4 games in 6 weeks are divisional teams.
The Niners, notwithstanding, because they're injury prone. I'm still going to tell you this at the end. Well, let me hold on to that. But yes, that's the toughest division for sure in football right now. That because Kansas City was not good this year, right? Kansas City,
Right.
LA, Denver can give you that run for your money, but Kansas City wasn't very good, so that had a lot to do with it.
But my bigger impression here is that you played the Rams in week 15, 49ers in week 17, followed by the 49ers in week 19. Week 20, and then the Rams in week 21. It's like, okay, I'm kind of tired of watching NFC West divisional games.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One more.
We got one more.
So on Sunday, Patriots beat the Texans 28-16. Drake May throws for 3 touchdowns. C.J. Stroud has 4 interceptions. That is your story right there. Here's the thing: the Texans were down in late, and they punted the football in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're
what
down
are you
by
to save face for?
Yeah. What in the fourth quarter? What are we punting for? I don't even understand why. Down a lot of points. I understand the idea of I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. I understand the idea of where our defense is good and maybe we'll get the ball back, but you're down 28-16 with a minute with there's a little bit of time left. What's the time on the clock? 6 minutes.
4:17.
Oh, is it that much? Yeah, 4:17.
Yeah, 4:17.
And they punt the football. What?
Yeah.
You
couldn't convince me as a coach to punt the ball under 5 minutes if I'm losing.
No,
not a snowball's chance in hell. There's zero guarantee that you are going to get the ball back. Zero.
Maybe if it's a 3-point game, I've got all my timeouts and the 2-minute, and my defense is playing well, I would think about it. But not
your
now.
Defense wasn't. Well, your defense wasn't playing.
It wasn't
terrible.
bad. It just but you're down 12.
They only scored 28 points, and again had nothing but short fields. Drake May had a QBR. I mean, it was a 20.8. It's not bad, but he only had 179 yards. And 3 touchdowns. That's that Mendoza shit against Oregon. 177 yards, 5 touchdowns. Why? Because you always have the ball in plus territory.
Yeah.
You don't have to try that hard.
Yeah, and the punt. I mean, with 4:17 left, at best, if you use all your timeouts, you get the ball back real fast. If you can get them to go 3 and out. But they ran 5 plays, 2 minutes 18 on the drive. So now you're under 2 minutes, right? And it's a minute 59, and you got to have 2 scores. That's not happening. I mean, the odds are slim without, I just don't know. I didn't like the idea that they punted the ball like that at that point.
No.
I get it. You're not doing anything great offensively, but it only takes 1 play. And it takes pass interference.
D'Amico Ryans is trying to re-sign defensive players for next year. Is what he's trying to do, and be like, see, I trust you guys. Blah blah blah. It's a dumb decision. Do not punt the ball under 5 minutes when if it's a field goal game, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm okay with that, because then the worst that they could do is get a field goal. Like if you let up some yards, they get a field goal and you're still within a touchdown of winning the game. But if it's a touchdown or more, no.
Yeah.
Don't give somebody else the ball.
Agreed. Yeah, it was.
Silliness.
Drake May was sacked 5 times. That Houston's rush is very, very good, but it just this whole this whole
I'm telling
thing.
you, Drake May did not look great.
No,
The Texans just looked worse. Both of these teams
agreed,
looked like subpar NFL teams.
agreed. I mean, there were some good plays. Booty with a great catch, right? Stephon Diggs with a huge catch.
He
There
had
were
a great one, yeah.
Ramondre.
I don't understand how that man's playing football.
You
Isn't
know,
he like doesn't he have like 3 felony charges against him right now?
yeah, but you know,
Like how is the NFL allowing him to play? Oh, because Kraft and
yeah,
Goodell.
there's a thing going on. Um, Ramondre Stevenson was running the football well. They did a lot of things well. It just wasn't Drake May necessarily doing them. Um, but anyway, he didn't. You know, he only threw one interception, so there's that. They did lose 2 fumbles, so there's 3 turnovers on their side, 5 turnovers on the other side. It was that kind of football game. It wasn't great to watch necessarily. I didn't enjoy it. Let's just say that. There are some games I do enjoy watching. When Houston rushes 22 times for 48 yards, please, right? Please.
It's not great.
That's not great. So it was just kind of boring, and I didn't enjoy the football game. But I still don't. That was the biggest complaint I had was punting in the fourth quarter down 12. What? Why? Why would you not just huck the ball
I mean,
somewhere?
neither of these teams ran particularly well. I mean, 32 for
No.
105 isn't anything to write home about. Like
3 yards carry.
neither of these teams ran, but Houston distinctly ran worse,
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
and neither of them had good core. I mean, you can argue Drake May had efficient quarterback play. He had a 100.7 rating. He was efficient because he didn't turn the ball over, but again, short fields. So
Short
it makes
fields, yeah.
your job a lot easier. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean the longest play of the game for New England was 32 yards.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was that long pass for Booty? So like that's it. Like that's the longest that you did all game because you were always on plus territory. So I think New England getting that defense is good or getting that game is good for the Broncos because it's going to force New England to make some interesting adjustments because they were closer to losing this game than they'll admit. But it's going to make them make some adjustments, and then hopefully the Broncos can capitalize off of some of those tweaks. So
last game of the weekend, Rams Bears in Chicago, and that was a pretty good ending to watch. At least
instant classic. That's an instant classic.
Only because, and I'm just still trying to figure out how Caleb Williams ran backwards 50 yards. It seemed like it. I don't think it was that many, but it looked like he ran backwards 50 yards, hucked the ball to the end zone, and somehow Cole Kmet is open. Like wide open. Not even. I mean, when you watched it, and I go, wait a minute, how's the guy get that wide open? OPI, right? It's offensive pass interference. Got to be. It didn't really look like it.
He shoved him. Yeah.
He shoved him some, but they were both grabbing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not. Well,
it was weird.
They were both grabbing up until that point.
Until he
the
pushed.
last little shove was what gave him the space, but I don't even think he needed to because the defender's head was back towards the quarterback.
Yeah, he wasn't looking.
I don't think he knew the tight end was drifting away.
But he ended up being 4 yards clear when he catches the football, and I'm like, holy moly, he's wide open. But it was a good throw, and it was a good, I mean, you got it, and that next thing you know, hey, look at that, we're tying the game, we're going to overtime. I still think this was a very good performance by a Rams team that was playing in elements that are not conducive to LA teams playing in. It's cold, it's windy, it's snowy. There's a lot not to like if you're from LA. They gave up 417 yards to the Bears, by the way. But the Bears turned the ball over 3 times. That's what did it. And the Rams only had 1 accepted penalty, which I find really hard to believe. By the way,
I don't think this type of weather, like I think people talk about like, oh, well, weather's a big impact. I think we talked about this before. Weather's an equalizer, right?
Yeah.
But this type of weather, like 6 degrees outside, that's not Bears weather either. Like they don't play in that. Well, hell, they don't make the postseason, right? Like, so that's kind of part of it. Usually their season's done in December. So this isn't weather they play in either.
That's true.
This is freakish weather. And guess what? I don't care who the fuck you are. Caleb Williams doesn't have he has a house in Chicago, but guess where he spends his time? in LA.
in LA.
He does
Well, he's
not.
from LA,
He's
right?
not a Chicago boy. He's
Right.
I don't know if is he from LA or he just
Well,
went
he
to
went to school at
USC.
USC, so yeah. I mean, but probably he's got
Yeah.
a house somewhere in LA.
Yeah, and half of these dudes are from Florida or Texas or Alabama or, insert pipeline school here. Like,
Right.
they're not from Chicago. So this weather's foreign to all these dudes. Also, I watched a video of the Bears practicing
Yeah.
on Friday, and they were practicing indoors.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And it was cold there then, too. Not nearly as cold as Sunday, but I'm like, well, why wouldn't you be outside? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you want your guys as conditioned as possible, like to deal with wind and some other stuff? It didn't make sense to me, like why you wouldn't be outside more.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm looking at it still here. Caleb Williams threw it off his back foot from the 40,
yeah,
from the
it was a
40,
good
and
chuck.
it was caught 5 yards in.
In, yeah.
It was a 45-yard pass
Yeah.
off the back foot with pressure in your face.
But to be fair, it was a
Jesus.
sky high ball. He threw that ball way in the air.
Yeah, it had equally as good a chance to be picked.
Yeah, it did. It just the guys weren't in the right spot. So it just
But
happened
that's
to.
just good arm strength, though.
It
Like,
is.
holy crap.
It was a really good throw because once he started scrambling around, I'm like, oh my god, he's got to throw this away or he's going to get sacked. And neither happened, and I was like, what? So, what did happen was when the game goes to overtime, and the Rams punt because they can't get anything going. Bears have the ball on the LA side of the field on 2nd and 8. They decide let's take a shot, right? And Caleb Williams throws a ball for DJ Moore that gets intercepted. That was the game, right? That was ended up being the game right there. Yeah, they had to take it down. Cam Curl with the interception. He also had, by the way, 7 solo tackles, 13 total, and the interception. He was leading tackler, and he made the big play at the end. So MVP of
That's
the
kind
game.
of impressive.
Yeah. But
Ooh.
right.
They don't give out
they don't
MVP
do
for
no, they don't do that.
divisional? Yeah.
No, they don't do that. They should, but they didn't.
If this was the NBA, they would have received 6 trophies for it.
Caleb
The NBA
Williams.
loves to give out a trophy.
Caleb Williams ended with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That was kind of a big deal. He did not get sacked, so there was that. The Bears sacked Matthew Stafford 4 times, and he was 20 of 42. Stafford was. He didn't. I mean, he was still 258 yards, but he was under 500 passing, under 50%. They didn't look like a team that was great. I will say this: Puka Nacua is the best defensive back I've seen play in a long time. In like 2 games in a row, he has made a terrific play to break up a pass that should have been intercepted. So
the best offensive defensive back of all time is Megatron.
Yeah, he might be.
Dude, he was really good at getting up there and breaking up pass. They would put him in on every Hail Mary situation for another team.
I would too.
He's really good at it. But yeah, Puka Nacua is quite athletic.
He's been very good. Anyway, so the Rams win. They're going, by the way, and I didn't say it before, but I got to say the thicker kicker. Just because I got the opportunity. Harrison Mevis with the field goal to win it in overtime. He is a chunky guy. There's no doubt. He's got some.
You don't need much. Yeah.
He's carrying some extra, but he's kicker. So I mean, maybe that's a good thing. So Rams are going to play the Seahawks. So what's going to happen this weekend? For those of you who want to watch, 12 noon Pacific, that's 1 o'clock Mountain for you people that are in the Mountains time zone. On CBS, that's Patriots Broncos. Drake May, Jarrett Stidham. Let's see what happens, right? After that, at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 in the Mountain, that's on Fox, Rams at Seattle for the NFC Championship. One of these, there's 3 14-3 teams. There's the 1 and 2 seed and the 1 and 6 seed. Are in this. Rams are 6 or 5? 6? They end up being
6 or 5.
The 6 seed, right? No, the 5 seed. Who'd they play to start this thing? Oh my God, I can't remember.
The Rams?
Yeah, the Rams beat who in the playoffs? The Panthers. So they're the 5 seed. Yeah, the Rams are the 5 seed. So you have the 1 and 2 in the AFC, the 1 and 5. And by the way, the 1 and 5 and 6 were the best conference or best division in football. So. But anyway, yeah.
But none of this means anything because if everyone was 1 win away from being
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
seed.
One win either way for the if the Rams had beat the Seahawks that last game that they were winning,
They're the one seed.
they're the one
Yeah.
seed at that point. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot
Period.
there's a
Yeah.
lot going on here.
So
Yeah.
that's how far Seattle is away from them, despite how it seems. They were one win away from being a 5 seed, and they were on a 1 win away from being a 1 seed. So like,
AccuWeather says
or
it's
one
gonna
loss away. I should say.
AccuWeather says it's gonna be 25 degrees in Denver at Empower Field, and at Lumen Field in Seattle it'll be 44 and partly sunny. So welcome to Seattle. Seattle's a 2.5-point favorite. I think the Rams are better. I think the Rams win this game.
Oh, I'd be surprised. Seattle has a knack for winning these games, and the Rams have a knack for losing these games.
Maybe.
So I'd be surprised.
I think as long as the weather's not terrible, it doesn't snow, and it's not 20 degrees, I think the Rams have the advantage throwing the football. I think the Rams are going to win this game. It's going to be close, but I think this is like a 27-24 Rams win. And then I think Jarrett Stidham is going to perform well enough to carry the Broncos to the Super Bowl, and it's Rams-Broncos in the Super Bowl,
God, I hope so.
which will be interesting.
What I'm hoping for, actually, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Seahawks Broncos, and the reason I'm hoping for that is because I'll be in town in Portland the weekend of the Super Bowl, staying at Austin's, and
Yeah.
I want to watch Seahawks Broncos with all these Seahawks fans. It'd be fun, or it'd be really disappointing for me. I don't know. We'll find out. But ultimately, like, if this ends up being like Patriots Rams or Patriots Seahawks, it would not surprise me. Like, if Jarrett Stidham comes, I mean, if you're Jarrett Stidham, all we're asking you to do, buddy, a perfect day for me is like 15 to 17 completions, 200 yards or just under. Let's call it 1 touchdown, no turnovers. That's all I want. If he can do that, you are in this game. Like, you don't have to do that much more.
Let me change the topic. Well, and we've been showing the playoff bracket, so let's show the playoff bracket. Oh, that's week 1. That doesn't count. That was the first time when we were talking about what the possibilities were. This is the current playoff bracket. Here's what it looks like. There's your road to the Super Bowl 60 right there, which I don't know if you're a Rams fan, I guess Santa Clara's not that far. You could technically be a home game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the same distance from Denver and Seattle to Santa Clara.
If San Francisco had won, they would still have a chance to be at home. So, but they're beat up. Every year the Niners end up beat up, and it just doesn't work out. Anyway, so a lot of going on there. So they announced the 5 finalists for the AP MVP, NFL MVP. Let's talk about that real quick.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah, the 5 finalists have been announced for the NFL MVP. The AP announces the NFL MVP. Here's your 5 finalists. It's Christian McCaffrey, right? By the way, 1,200 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, only a 3.9 yards per carry this year for Christian McCaffrey. Below his average quite a bit. But he did have 102 catches for 900 yards. Which is
over 2,000 total yards.
Yeah, but that's an NFL season for any wide receiver. 102 catches, 924 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Holy moly!
1,000 yards is the benchmark for an NFL receiver. So the fact that a running back got close to that, that's good. Yeah, and then you also got your own 1,200 yards on top of it.
And he only had 2 fumbles all year.
Yeah.
So there's that.
All right, so he's a good one.
Who else is there? So there's one. Josh Allen. 69% completion, 3,668 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He did run for 579 yards, which is a 5.2 average, and 14 rushing touchdowns. Because that's what Josh Allen does.
He won it last year and was worse this year.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm gonna say no. Like, I don't get how you could give it to him when he had a worse year.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's not a bad argument.
Trevor Lawrence's completion percentage is 60.9. It's the lowest of the group here of the quarterbacks. But
he's got the worst players in theory.
4,000 yards, just a little over, 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He did run for 359 yards, a 4.4 average, and 9 touchdowns. And led Jacksonville back to the playoffs, right? So there's that. Let's also talk about Drake May. Drake May with a 72% completion percentage, 4,400 yards, 8.9 yards per attempt. That's 31 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. He did also run for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns. Okay. All right.
Get him out of here.
Matt.
I do not think you should qualify to be a MVP without having a top 15 NFL schedule. Like they have the worst schedule in the league, like
Agreed.
by all metrics. Like you literally play the easiest teams, the easiest times, the easiest travel schedule. No, I don't want to give you an award because you were decent against every bad team you played for a whole year. It's not. I don't know. I don't like it.
So if that's the case, it's probably Matt Stafford, who's the other one.
Matt Stafford is a great choice.
4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
46?
46 touchdown passes
Holy
this year.
shit.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
well,
not.
Wait.
Yeah.
Didn't he not throw an interception until like week 12 or something like that?
I did not look at that, but he's only thrown 8. Period.
He.
Now.
Yeah. He had a whole season where he didn't like almost throw it. So
that being said, he also ran the ball 29 times for 1 yard. So he's not a rusher. He's not a runner. So those extra yardage that those other guys scramble for and get first downs and that stuff, that's not Matthew Stafford. He's throwing the football away. So you can say what you want. He was also only sacked 23 times, though, for a guy who stays in the pocket a lot, right? Compared to everyone else on this list who was over 40. So, yeah, it's a lot less sacks. Some of that's your offensive line. I get it. But I think numbers-wise, from a passing standpoint, and I think that's Stafford. Bringing a team, and I know you don't like Drake May, but I think he's going to be the sentimental favorite because they were bad last year, and they're 14 and whatever this year. So I get why you'd want to give it to him. He's the leader.
But no one's going to be sentimental about Trevor Lawrence, and they had a rough year last year, and he got all the way back. I get it; they're not the same, but I have a hard time. I mean, I just watched Drake May have the most mediocre playoff game I've ever seen.
Agreed, but they won.
And but they won, right?
And like winning cures all, right?
But did you die?
Yeah. All right. If you were looking for somebody to give it to, I think Christian McCaffrey is probably a good choice too.
It would be nice if they rewarded him for all of his hard work.
He does so much.
I can't see him doing it.
Well,
Has he won one before?
No, I think next year they need to have him throw the football like 20 times. You know what I mean? So that he can have some passing
See if
stats.
he can get.
Yeah.
See if we can get him also like 1,000 yards passing.
Right.
Let's try and get him to 3. 1,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards receiving. Let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey has not won an NFL.
I know.
He should have won one like years ago.
You would think. His numbers have been great for quite a while, but he doesn't. It's a quarterback's trophy, dude. Nobody else. I mean, only one running back since 2006 has won the MVP, right? So it's a quarterback league. Prior to that, it was there was a bunch of different guys that won, running backs in there get thrown in there too. But so I've got some interesting MVP stats we can talk about real quick. If you're going to pick one of these guys, who would you vote for?
Matt Stafford.
Okay.
Eight picks on 46 touchdowns is incredible.
I would pick Stafford 1, McCaffrey 2, May 3. And then you can take Allen or Lawrence. I don't care either direction.
Also, Stafford did it in the NFC West.
In the NFC West, true.
Like that's the division that he plays in.
He had to play Seattle twice.
The defunct Dolphins, the weird Bills situation that couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, they were up
even
and
though
down
they lost one of those games to the Bills. And then wait, who's the other one? The Jets?
Yeah, the Jets. The
Jets
are bad.
on.
The Jets are 2 gimmies.
This isn't real.
Agreed.
So
well, and then
I'd say Stafford for sure had and honestly, if he didn't throw those I think he threw 3 picks at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of the season, if he only had 5 picks total, you think this was a shoo-in. Like 47 and 5 is insane. 47 and 8 is still insane. But I don't know. Matt Stafford's having an unreal year. And yes, he's got Puka, and yes, he's got Devontae, and yes, he's got running back Kyron Williams.
Yeah, Kyron Williams.
Like he's got some pieces, but come on now, this is nonsense.
Matt Stafford threw 8 interceptions. He threw them in 5 games. He had 3 interceptions against Atlanta in the next to last game of the season. He had 2 against Detroit in a win at home. So those are 5.
2 against Oh, geez, Carolina in that loss.
Oh, Carolina. Sorry, it was Carolina. My bad. It was Carolina. 3 against
Yeah,
Atlanta,
yeah,
2 against Carolina, 1 against Detroit, 1 against Philadelphia,
yeah. But
1 against Tennessee.
he had five. He had 5 picks in 2 losses.
In 2 losses.
Like
Yeah.
that. The reason they lost is because he was throwing picks.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's yeah, for sure. So I he's been amazing. I mean, yeah, let's be fair. This they're they had their schedule. I mean, when I look at the NFL schedules, I kind of think they're all kind of crappy. I mean, there's a lot of mediocrity, but you're right. The division is good, and they managed to they split with San Francisco, they split with Seattle. They should have won the second game.
Yeah.
And then Arizona is in there too. Okay, whatever. But they did play. They played Tampa, they played Detroit.
Oh,
Right?
that's right.
They
I forgot about that 2-point controversy in the Seattle one.
yeah,
They should
it
have
was,
won.
yep, they should have won that game.
They should have beat Seattle.
But they also beat Detroit, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Indianapolis when they were good, right?
Yeah.
And Houston at the beginning of the season, right? They played a bunch of playoff teams, so
Yeah, they were good.
yeah, I would agree with you that they're probably the best. Let me just say this. Here's my question for you. Here's your trivia question of the day. We're not talking about the coaching thing. We'll talk about that next week. NFL MVPs, right? What team has produced the most NFL MVPs? A player from this team has won the most NFL MVPs.
I feel like the Cowboys would be a really good one right off the bat. I feel like it's gonna be one of those classic team like Cowboys, Packers, maybe Giants had a couple. No, did Giants have a couple? I don't know. 49ers were really hot. I mean, 49ers got like 4 MVPs between what's his name? Between Jerry Rice and frickin' Joe Montana. Oh, and Steve Young. My bad. Forgot about him. Oopsie daisy.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with 49ers. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
49ers are third. The 49ers
Okay,
have 5 MVPs, by the way. Two of them were Steve Young. 2 of them were Joe Montana.
Yeah.
None of them
Yeah.
were Jerry Rice.
Who is the other one?
Somebody back in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
So
who's number one?
John Brody, 1970. By the way, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 1 is the Packers.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
They won 10, and why did they win 10? Because Aaron Rodgers won 4, and Brett Favre won 3.
That's right. That's right.
So there's
I forgot
7.
Aaron Rodgers won 4.
There's 7 of them. The Colts are second with 9, and that's because Peyton Manning won 4 and
Peyton
Johnny
Manning
Unitas
won
won
4,
3. So there's 7.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's your bye team. All right. So now
who were the other 3 Packers
that won
guys who won MVPs?
Oh, you want them? Hold on.
Outside of Brett Favre and
so Paul Hornung,
Aaron Rodgers.
Paul Hornung,
Oh, nice. Okay.
halfback in 1961. Jim Taylor, fullback, 1962.
Jim Taylor.
Yep. And Bart Starr, 1966.
Bart Starr. Bart Starr is one of the ones I thought it would be, but yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Interesting.
So now, what I want you to tell me is which college has produced the most NFL MVPs?
Ooh. Okay. All right. Let's talk it out. If I don't talk it out, if I don't say it out loud, I'll be like, I don't want to actually know.
Go ahead.
I feel like, again, like Tennessee's got a good one, a good case for. I think they've got because that's just Peyton Manning. Oh shit!
It's tough.
Where did Theismann go to school?
Why you gotta bring up Joe Theismann? Because if I tell you that, doesn't it like help? It doesn't like I don't want to help you.
I guess it does.
But
where did Joe? Well, now I'm going. Where did Joe Montana go to school?
But
where did Bart Starr go to school?
But
let's go. Actually,
I'm gonna help you with this. Joe Theismann won 1. Okay, he only won 1
Yeah.
MVP, so he's not like a major factor, but he is a contributor. So
well, hold on now. So Sean Alexander,
Mhm.
Joe Namath, and
Uh-huh.
Stabler were all Alabama guys.
They were all Alabama guys. You are correct. That's good.
I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Okay, that's a good choice. Alabama has 5. They're second.
Oh, who's number 1?
It's tough, right? And by the way, so Alabama, Bart Starr, also from Alabama, but that's only one.
Oh,
Joe
I
Namath
didn't know that. Interesting.
twice, right? Ken Stabler
Yeah.
once, and then Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
So, okay, but number one has 6.
And who are the people?
Oh, I can't do that. If I do that,
No, well, tell me the people. Well, now you're about to tell me the answer anyway. So tell me the people, and then I'll guess the team, the school.
sure. Paul Hornung for the Packers in 61.
No,
That
that's
help
not.
you? A-
No, not yet.
Alan Page of the Minnesota Vikings in 1971, defensive lineman.
No,
Still
not
not
ringing
still
any
not
bells.
helpful. Okay, and then it becomes very helpful. Joe Theismann, quarterback,
Well,
the Redskins, 83.
it doesn't help me because I asked earlier what school did he go to. I don't know.
Well, no, but I said then it's gonna
Who else?
give it away. Joe Montana, 89 and
Notre
90,
Dame.
back to back.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. So Notre Dame was 6.
Interesting.
All right. So Notre Dame
Really?
Notre Dame has 6. Alabama has 5. Tennessee has 5. They are all Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hold on. Notre Dame has 6.
6.
But they've got 4 between 2 guys. Wait, no.
No.
Theismann has 2, right?
Theismann has 1. So,
Theismann has 1. Oh,
Theismann
I'm
has
sorry. I was
1.
thinking of Namath. Namath has 2.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Montana has 2, and then Page,
right.
and there's some other guys. Anyway,
Yeah.
you know who else is tied for second?
Interesting.
Louisville. Johnny Unitas went to Louisville, and he won 3, and so did Lamar Jackson. He won
Jesus.
2. So there's 5.
When did Johnny Unitas play football?
60s.
Okay.
Into the 70s. I think he played, let's see, Johnny Unitas, he was 64.
He was born in 1933.
His
he
last
played for Louisville in 51 to 54.
Shish. His last NFL MVP was
Post-war
67.
effort.
Yeah, 67. So, but this also counts, by the way, the fact that the AFL gave an MVP and the NFL gave an MVP for quite a while.
Yeah.
Until they merged, 1970.
So they merged. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But anyway, and also
that's interesting. Those are good ones.
And so Oregon has 1, by the way. 1 NFL MVP. That's Norm Van Brocklin back in 1961. 1960, sorry. The quarterbacks have won 48 of them. Running backs with 18. Linebackers 1. Defensive linemen 1. And 1 kicker. In 1982, you know who that was?
1 kicker in 1982.
Yep.
What team do you play for?
Washington Redskins.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry.
No, don't know it. That's not ringing the bells.
That's Mark Mosley. Yeah, he set an NFL record at the time for points in a season. He was money. He went to Texas A&M. So there you go. All right. Yeah, right. Anyway. And
Weird.
That's all I got for today. I don't think I have anything else. The rest of this, we're going to talk about some coaching changes next week, and we'll talk about coaches going to the Super Bowl when we do that.
Ooh, so, that's true.
Head coaches.
Yeah, because we got to figure out what the Bills decide to do.
yeah. But they're going to talk about that because there's some guys open, right? And some guys are already committed, so
yeah,
they've already filled some spots.
And a bunch of guys are passing on the Browns job.
Real quick, right? Because wouldn't you?
Because they're waiting for Dion.
Well, maybe. So let me just say this before we go. Baseball Hall of Fame inducted 2 members, and that was Carlos Beltran and why am I out of Andrew Jones for the Atlanta Braves. So Carlos Beltran played for like 12 teams. I don't know, but
is this the Andrew Jones with a U?
Andrew,
his name?
Yes.
Andrew with a U.
Yes, it is Andrew Jones with a U. But yeah. So
I don't remember him well because I think I don't know when his last game was. It was early 2010s or something like that. But like I remember the U and going, huh?
It doesn't look right, right?
What's
going on?
That's strange.
Yeah.
It actually looks really phonetic. But
Andrew, Andruw. Andrew.
It's Andrew.
Yeah, he's so those 2 guys were elected to the Hall of Fame. They're good players. I mean, they're good baseball players. Andrew Jones are not Andrew Jones, but Carlos Beltran will be the manager of the Puerto Rican team in 26 in the World Baseball Classic. I think that's right. Don't tell me it's not Puerto Rico, but I think that's right. Anyway, he played for the Astros. He played for the Royals. He played for the Mets. He played for the Cardinals. Yeah, played for a lot of teams. So
So who didn't get in? Chase Utley,
yeah,
Felix Hernandez, Alex Rodriguez, Manny. What are we doing?
these guys. Well,
Put them in the damn Hall of Fame.
this is a whole PED thing. They're still PED guys. That performance enhancing
Oh,
A Rod and Manram, those guys are PED guys. They're not going to get in more than likely because they didn't put in
I mean,
McGuire or Sosa or any of
A
those guys.
Rod's receiving 40% of the votes. He should be.
He's
Felix Hernandez though is receiving 46.1. Get this guy in there.
he's gone up, so he has a chance in the next couple of years to get in there. But first ballot Hall of Famers are rare. You don't realize
I can't.
how rare they are,
Yeah,
but
I know.
they're really rare.
Well, they're rare because of the stuffy people that make the decision.
Agreed.
Like that's why they're rare, but they're not. So a great example is I mean, I guess the PED area, right? Like, what are you doing? Who got in last year? Who was the 2025 class? Because there was somebody who got in who was like a big deal.
Hang on, I can find it for you. HNF class. It'll tell me here. Oh, that's the football one. That's not helpful. 2025 Hall of Fame voting is right here.
Ichiro Suzuki.
There you go. Ichiro got in because he's a big deal.
He wasn't
First
unanimous, and he wasn't. It was his first. So he's one of those few guys who gets in on his first year.
Ballot, yeah.
CC Sabathia was also first ballot.
Yep. But Billy
On
Wagner
that one,
got
I'm
in,
seeing
and he was 10th. It was his 10th year. I think his last year.
10th year. Like it feels like baseball is very intentionally
It is.
gatekeeping the Hall of Fame, and they're doing it in a way that starts to look a little questionable.
Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones were 4 and 5 last year in the balloting, and Chase Utley was 6. So if you move all three of them up because the top 3 got in, they are 1, 2, 3,
in theory,
just like they were.
Right.
So nobody new has become available that has supplanted those guys. A-Rod,
Did
Man
Gary
Ram,
Sheffield get in 2025?
Well, he's not on the ballot last year.
Oh, it's okay. So there's a guy. Here's a guy. So there was a guy who had 60% of the vote in 2024 and was not even on the ballot the next year.
Yeah.
Like we can just take people off the ballot because they're getting like
10
it's
years.
Just so dumb.
10 years.
It's just. I understand.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Knock it off. Quit it. Like these guys are Hall of Famers. Why are we acting like they're not? Because you say so? No, they're Hall of Famers to me. Chase Utley's a Hall of Famer.
So,
and do you think I'm going to fucking Cooperstown to prove
agreed.
that? No, he's a Hall of Famer. Who cares what you think?
I agree with you. I think they're very elitist, and you suffer by comparison sometimes when you are.
Oh yeah.
When these guys are eligible this year, and I'm still on the ballot. It's my 6th year, but this is the first year for Ichiro Suzuki. I'm not going to beat him out, so I'm automatically second at best, right? So. They could vote for all of these guys. They can put in as many as they want. There's no limit, but they don't. It's 2 or 3, maybe 4. It isn't a big a big deal. In 2023, Scott Rowland was the only one put in of the current players that were eligible, not the senior guys. David Ortiz, the only one that made it in 22. One guy. We're letting one guy in. Now, to be fair, the other guys that he's going against are Barry Bonds, PED, Roger Clemens, PED, right? So, later guys who got in, Scott Rowland, Todd Helton, Billy Wagner, those guys all got in, but Andrew Jones is on here, Gary Sheffield's on here, A-Rod, Manram, Sammy Sosa. Those guys are not getting in. So,
but like next year, so guys, Chase Utley and Felix Hernandez are trying to get in, right?
Yep.
But next year you're gonna put in Buster Posey and John Lester, and both of those guys have as strong or stronger of a case than Chase Utley or Felix Hernandez.
Agreed.
Like it's an insane process. I wish what they would do is they'd either set a threshold for all right, every year we elect one person from each position, assuming they meet the 50% vote requirement.
Right.
50%, not 75, which is what they currently have. So one person from each position, assuming they'll meet the 50%. So if you don't meet the 50%, that position goes vacant, whatever it is what it is. Or you just make it a blanket 50%. If more than half of the people think they should be in, I don't give a shit about the top 25% thinking they shouldn't be in. Like, how are you just going to ignore? Like, Chase Utley having 60%. How are you going to ignore 60% of your voters
Yeah, I don't know,
in
man.
favor of 40% of your voters? Like 75% is a C, right? But D's pass.
Right.
So what are we doing here?
I don't know,
I don't know.
man. It's weird.
Baseball is frustrating.
Baseball is frustrating. In the voting especially, yeah. I don't quite understand the Hall of Fame voting. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. You want to keep it exclusive. You don't want just everybody in there, but
Yeah.
also, you know, you've let some people in that were worse in a year because you just took someone. I think. Then you know what I mean. In
Yeah.
a year, oh, this year's there's 12 guys. I can't put all 12 guys in. Yeah, you could.
There
They just don't.
there is a year where they didn't let in Mark McGwire, but let in somebody extremely worse.
Well, yeah, but
Like that happened at one point because you were like, "Oh, we just don't want to do the PED
that's
thing."
PED.
But
Yeah.
are we gonna not let in a what's his name? Oh, Jesus Christ, the catcher for the Mariners. What is his name?
Raleigh?
Dumper, big Dumper.
Cal Raleigh?
Not that he's there yet. Are we not going to let in Raleigh because he used a torpedo bat?
I mean, I don't know.
Like, is that going to change? Like, because it's performance enhancing, right?
Maybe.
It's just not. It's
There
not
wasn't
your
a
body,
needle.
it's
There
an
wasn't a
external
needle
thing.
involved, so maybe not. I don't
Like,
know.
If it was, God forbid they put a needle in the bat.
Yeah.
Like,
Weird, right?
Never let a bat in.
I don't know.
But
It's interesting. I can't I can't really say. The numbers that you get nowadays from some of these players are not the same kind of numbers you got back in the day, right? Now, some of that has to do with thinning of competition, right? There's a lot more players because there's more teams, right? And you have some interesting, I don't know, you don't have as many power lineups, right, anymore, right? Like you had
sure.
the Yankees in the 50s, right, or the 60s that were, man, that was rough. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees. It was one of those teams in that time frame, right? And
Yeah.
now you don't have that because the talent gets thinned out. There's one guy on this team. There's one guy on that team, and having two superstars back to back helps those two players in batting, especially.
Right.
Yeah. But you still don't. But what you see is a lot more home runs. You don't see the pitching numbers, like the ERAs are not as low as they used to be back in the day. Some of them are. You get some guys who can you spin a great year, but Felix Hernandez, for example, 3.42. 3.42 is it's good. It's not great. It's good. So I don't know. It's hard for me. He has 169 wins, Felix Hernandez. 169 wins. Doesn't even have 200
Pretty
wins.
impressive.
And I think 300 is the number that you would, Andy Pettit has 256. He's still on this ballot one more year. So 256 wins is a lot of wins. Yeah, I mean, compared to 169, it's almost 100 more wins. So
Right.
yeah, it becomes a question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that the numbers are. You look at guys like Bob Gibson who had an ERA around 1 point something, right? Back in 60s when he threw.
Good old Bob.
He was unbeatable. He was unhittable. But I don't know. Anyway, long story short, that's who's in. And yeah, so there'll be a ceremony and all that. Blah 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 blah. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I got one thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I had to fly a lot over this past weekend, or past 2 weekends, really.
Yeah.
And so the question came up when me and I was talking to Cassie and things like that. Well, there's two parts. Number one, to lean your seat back or not.
That's up to you.
How do you and how do you do it in a way that makes everyone comfortable? I suppose is the way to think about it.
So here's the thing. Your seat reclines. It's up to you whether
Yeah.
you want to recline or not. I don't think it's up to the person behind you. But you don't want to. I don't thunk it back. Like I don't just go, right? Because
And see,
there's a
that's
drink.
a large part of the problem is people aren't capable of moving their seat back easily most of the time.
I'll tell you this. Your mother and I have been flying first class. I don't want to sound snobby, but I don't have to worry about the tray table being attached to the back of the seat. It's separate. So
That's a fair point.
If I snap my seat back, it's not going to bump into someone's tray table. So
well, us peasants still have to deal with it.
Yeah, but I get it and I understand, and I wouldn't want the water to come flying at me when someone shoots their seat back that 6 inches or however far it backs. It's not that far.
Yeah.
It's really not that big a deal.
It's
Um,
I think it's only like four total inches at the top of the headrest that
yeah,
moves back,
and
and then the
less as you
base
go down, right?
moves is around like your around the cut like the tray. I think it's like 1.5 to 2 or something like
I
that.
think it's up to you.
But
As
that's still 2 inches straight towards your
if
stomach.
if you wanted to be a super nice person, you could turn around and go, "Hey, I'm going to lean my seat back. Do you have any issues with that?" I get it. You could ask, and that's fine. If you just do it slowly, to me, it's not a big deal. I wouldn't be offended if I was behind you. Um,
Right.
just because it's I can lean mine back too if you lean yours back, and then now I've got the same amount of room.
Right. Well, that's part of it is if
Yeah.
everyone leans back,
Yeah.
we're all in the same place.
It's
But if one person doesn't, things are congested
someone
at
gets
some
grumpy
point or
about the
another.
world. Yeah.
Someone gets grumpy. So what I do is if I feel the need to, which I usually don't. If it's a flight of less than 3 hours, I typically don't care to lean my seat back. I'll just deal with
Yeah.
being upright. But I will typically turn around and say, "Hey, do you mind if I lean my seat back?" And I'll try and do it before they serve the drinks.
That way it's already
So
set.
that way it's already set. There's no
Yeah.
adjustments in this period, and I won't pull it back up until, hey, we're starting our descent, and they come through with that last trash bag, and then I'll lean it back up. Like I try and time it to be appropriate, so that
Right.
way it's not like they hand us the drinks, I finish my drink way before the person behind me, and then I go, all right, I'm going back now. Like, and they're still in the middle of their thing.
Yeah.
So, but on one of our last flights recently, Cassie, she's sitting there, and the guy, he presses the button, and you could see it lean back a little bit. So she kind of like shifts a little bit,
Right.
but it doesn't go all the way. So he just kind of throws himself at it
Oh, good lord.
to kick it back the rest of the way. And
Right.
Cassie's a big fan of like setting her things up
Oh,
in
of
front of
course.
her where she can see them.
Yeah.
So her Biscoff went flying onto the floor and her freaking phone fell over and all this stuff. And it's like, oh my God. Like also this guy could get a tad more comfortable.
2 inches more. Yeah.
2 inches more of comfort. All right. And then the other thing is
Yeah.
windows on the plane.
Uh-huh.
Now, I do believe that is, in my opinion, you are entitled to open your window whenever you want.
Huh.
Like you bought a window seat,
Yep.
open it up if you want to. Like
Yep.
that is your call.
I-
That's you paid the money, and some airlines charge more for it.
Ooh,
However,
well.
when it's early in the morning, like super early in the morning, like 7 a.m. flight, yeah, the sun's coming up, but everyone here is
All
still
of my
tired.
flights. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
then you need to leave it shut. When we're landing
Well-
or when we get about an hour into the flight, pop that bad boy open, see what happens. Once it gets past 8 o'clock, free reign. But until 8, keep that shit shut. We
You
are
want it overhead.
tired.
Did you get
I
sun in
want
your eyes?
dark. So on my flight to Atlanta, one person. So the whole plane is dark.
Yeah.
Except for one just ribbon of light tearing through row 33 where I was, because the lady in seat 33F, on the other side of me, I was in 33A,
Oh wow.
decided she loves a view.
Well,
And the
don't we
sun's
all?
coming clean through that window. Or, no, it wasn't on the way to Atlanta. Where were we going? I can't remember. It was one of my flights, but it was coming clean through her window,
Right.
and I couldn't sleep. And I was like, this just sucks. And it gets hot next to the windows when the sun's like ripping through it.
It can.
When you're up, it's better. When you're up high, it's better.
Do you have the air on?
But I run really hot on the plane. Oh man, I have that thing permanently on my
I do
face.
too. I do
I actually had a lady once ask me to turn it off or like if I could lower it. And I told her, I was like, I'll do it. I was like, but I need you to like, she was in the middle seat between me and the wall or whatever. I was like, I'll do it, but I need you to lean away from me. Cause I was like, cause I'm going to start sweating real fast. And she goes, oh no, don't worry about it then. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, we're rubbing elbows here. And I was like, and this is the only thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
gonna
like,
get
60% of your heat escapes through your head. And this thing is just beaming on my head right
Yeah,
now.
I have to
it
have
is
it on.
Trying to keep me cool.
The
Yeah.
I
I want
think-
it on my face. I want like 5 of them just constantly blowing air from all directions.
So the last flight I flew, I always get if I'm flying by myself, I get window seat. Because I don't get up
Yeah.
usually. I go to the bathroom before I go. It's rare that I have to get up and go to the bathroom. So there's no reason for me to have an aisle seat. And I'm not one of those people who like jumps up immediately when the plane touches the ground so that I can get my shit out and be ready.
The only time I don't mind is if you have a connecting flight and they do that whole thing where they're like, hey, a bunch of people here have connecting flights. Let them off.
Oh,
Like
sure.
those people I see, and you can tell those people because you hear them talking about it 5 minutes before. They're like,
Oh, that's
"Okay, when
true.
we get there, we gotta hustle." Like you can hear the panic in their voice
Oh,
the moment it starts. So,
I
but
agree.
yeah, I
I
don't get up right away. I wait.
so I get the window seat, and I will ask if the person next to me minds, and I'm not going to ask the whole plane, but the person next to me, I want to be considerate if they're reading or if they're trying to take a nap or whatever. I don't want to open up a whole sunshine ray right on their face, right? Um, but
That's
I will
exactly
ask
right.
the person
Also,
next
if
to
you're
me
next to a wing, it's amplified.
because of
Like it
the
beams
shine.
off the wing and
Yeah,
just comes right in.
yeah,
It's a little extra
it's
pop on
brighter.
it. That's really nice though. Be
Well,
like, hey, do you mind if I open this?
yeah, I always ask the person
Yeah.
next to me, but I don't. It's not, and like, so the last plane trip I was on was to LA, right? So that
Yeah.
was, I had never flown into LA before as an adult. I think it was 5 the last time we flew.
So
Anyway,
you want to see it.
so I wanted to see what can I see when I fly in, and that was, I mean, I think that's totally understandable. And I would, if someone explained that to me, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, open the
Yeah.
window. I don't care.
That
Um,
doesn't
Taking off
that
from
doesn't
Seattle,
bother me at
I
all.
didn't care. I don't care if the window's open. Doesn't
I've
bother me. I
seen
mean, I've
this a
seen all
thousand
these
times.
mountains are the same mountains. They're going to be here when I get back. So, yeah, when I come into
I
somewhere
think the
new,
answer is just
yeah,
courtesy, right?
yeah, just
Just be
just
courteous
ask
with each
before
other.
you do it, and I think it's no big deal. Now if you really want to lean your seat back and the person behind you says no, then what? Oh, I prefer you didn't.
Yeah,
What? I mean,
I would ask why.
yeah,
Because maybe the person is 6'5", and leaning it back is literally
yeah.
going into their
He
knees.
should have bought a first class
Like
ticket.
should have, but not everyone can afford that,
I know,
and
I know.
it's his parents' fault that he's 6'5", not
It
his.
is his parents'
So
fault. Damn it.
like it's like he couldn't do much about that scenario to be there.
Yeah.
So but I'd ask why,
Here,
and if they did, I just like my space. Like, well, now I'm getting into a tough taste. It's time to learn a life lesson. Like
I'm
I'm going back. I'm going. Here I come.
I'm just gonna say this to you. You're welcome that you're not 6'5" and you don't have those issues.
You couldn't have done a little more to get me like 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in
Man,
that
I've been
range.
saying that my whole life. Just couldn't I get it? Couldn't I have been 6'1", 6'2"? That would have been perfect, man. Nope, not a chance.
Yeah, I just all I try and do is I try and ask people like I know I have a thing about when if you sit in a seat where the wing you can see the wing, so like you're behind it when you see it like shifting,
Yeah,
like you hit turbulence or you're
it
taking off
wobbles.
and you can see the wing like wobbles.
Yeah,
It freaks me out.
does it really?
It will freak me out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I cannot stand. I don't mind taking off. I don't mind landing. Like none of it really
just
bothers me. I do not like seeing the wing wobble. It feels unnatural.
well. Here's
This
your
thing is supposed to be a rock hurtling through space, and
no.
instead,
Well,
it's a flimsy piece of metal.
here's your here here's your personal wisdom. Um, they have to be flexible, otherwise they would break and fall off. They're
Right,
going
they'd
so
freeze. They'd get too
fast.
cold, right?
They're going so fast, and there's so much vibration and there's so much stuff going on that if it was stiff and flexible and it was made of super hard, when it
Yeah,
encountered turbulence, it would crack, and then it would rip
it would
and fall
crack.
off.
Yeah,
They have to be flexible. So it's kind of like a bird
a
gliding.
necessary evil.
It's like a bird gliding. The bird's wings are still flexible, but they're fixed out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I understand,
yeah.
but
It's still. I get it.
it feels incorrect to see this part of the plane that weighs,
The super important part.
15,000 pounds. It's the thing that's keeping you from
Super,
spiraling to your death
super
as like a
important part.
bullet towards the ground. So
The
yeah, it's that thing, and I'm
yeah.
watching it out there just go whoop
The
whoop
the
whoop,
wing
and I'm
is
like,
the
"Ah,
one
okay,
the one thing giving you lift. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so yeah, I don't like that. And so like when we were taking off from not Chicago from St. Thomas, I told Cassie I was like, I started doing it. We hit turbulence right out, and I asked her to shut the window, and she was like, "Why?" And I was like, I can't. If I like, I can just look to the right, but then I'm staring at the person across the aisle,
You
or
should.
like I can just close my eyes. Where I was like, the easiest move though is for you to just shut the
Oh,
window for like 3 minutes.
oh my God! They've got their window open too. Um.
They've got you look
Did
to
you?
the right and the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
Oh,
it's
I
twice
had
as
a
much
girl
trouble.
leaving Toronto ask me to shut my window because she was scared.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Yeah.
again, this is a courtesy moment where I go, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Like I
get
had
it.
only been to Toronto flying in, so I kind of wanted to see it. And it was during the day, but I was like, you know what? I'd rather not
Uh,
make this person's. I think it was her second flight ever, is what she told me later, and her first flight was like very short. And I was like, I don't want to ruin her experience flying on planes
yeah.
because some asshole would be like, no, I like to look.
No. Yeah.
I like to look out the window.
I
Sorry about your day.
but I absolutely would have followed with, yeah, Toronto's a sketchy place. I don't blame you.
Yeah, there's
We don't
nothing to
want to
look
see
at
that.
here.
We don't.
It's
We
all
don't.
Canada.
We don't want to be looking
I
down
should have told her like I'll pop it back open once we get over the border. There's some real sights.
there.
But
Man,
no, I think the general will just be courteous.
you know what's wrong with
Don't be
Canada?
nice to
You
people.
know what's wrong with Canada? Everything's Canadian. Anyway, all right,
It's true.
all right. I guess that's it, right? That's it for today.
Yep,
We'll be
that's it.
back. We're gonna be back next week.
Yes,
Yes,
we'll be back next
that
week
was more of a
on
question.
Wednesday.
Wednesday on our normal Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We'll be back next week. We're going to talk about the conference championship games. We're going to talk some more about NFL head coaching openings. There may be more by then. You never know. Some teams may have come to their senses and fired some more guys, or not. But some of those are going to be filled too. So we're going to learn more about that what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about transfer portal in college. We're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to start talking about the NBA because it's about that time. Um, and then whatever else we can come up with. We might talk a little Formula One. It's coming soon.
Soon.
In about a month, right? We're gonna
They're
have.
doing livery unveils now.
Yeah, we're starting to get there. We're gonna talk a little bit about Formula One.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, we'll have all that and more next week. We want to thank everybody for listening. This has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media, and we'll be back next week.